So I think the key themes at TradeTech this year, near as I can tell, are focused around changes to equity market structure, the use of innovation and technology to enable trading and to enable the search for liquidity, and I think the significant burden of an ongoing and changing set of regulations that people need to adapt to. I would focus on the specific insight that market structure is changing, which means changes to liquidity, whereas at the same time, regulation is causing trading patterns themselves to change and increased investment in technology to support adapting to that change. So the firms that are going to be successful are the firms that actually have adaptable infrastructure who can position themselves to chase those changes in market structure and to be able to adapt to that regulatory change. I'm here to discuss new ways of aligning market participants with regulatory consensus and to discuss some of the more significant changes that are coming down the pike for regulation, particularly in Europe over the next year. I think that the industry as a whole is looking for a way to align interpretive consensus across a variety of jurisdictions and for different regulatory use cases. I'm pleased to say that Droit is closely involved with an industry consortium called Indoxa, whose constituent members, part of this executive committee, are some of the most sophisticated financial institutions and who bring a great deal of expertise to bear. The first regulatory use case that Indoxa is focusing on is called shareholding disclosure, or disclosure of interest requirements, which is a market transparency initiative that spans hundreds of jurisdictions, affects sell-side institutions, buy-side clients, and is very difficult to adapt to the constant pace of change. So in this framework, this Indoxa framework, there is a new methodology for building consensus that starts with regulatory text. From regulatory text, a decision model is built. That decision model is enhanced and supplemented with legal advice coming from Aosphere and Allen & Overy in this particular case. That is then reviewed in working groups of industry experts, and it is refined further. And any remaining questions are taken directly to the regulator for clarification. So you have this waterfall approach of legal text supplemented with legal advice, enhanced by industry expertise, and then direct regulator engagement. The good news here is that the buy side has been preparing for some time. They've been engaging with vendors to help them with this. They've also had a lot of lead time from the regulators in terms of the implementation approach. The challenges that the buy side is facing here are the introduction of new concepts such as UTI, UPI, common data elements. These are all new ideas, and there's going to be a bit of a bedding in process as this goes live. There are challenges that relate to the fact that ESMA is going live for these changes in a few days, whereas the FCA's version of these changes don't take effect until the end of September. So there's divergence between these two approaches for this window of time. That's something that's new. And some of these concepts like UTI have some unexpected complexities in implementation that require a knowledge of what your counterparty might be subject to, which other regimes they might be reporting under, in order to figure out how to exchange that information. So I think that as trade repositories, as market participants, as the regulators iron out these issues post-go-live, there will be a little bit of volatility and a little bit of an adjustment period, but in the end I think that it'll go smoothly.